Good afternoon to you, rugby fans. Welcome to Providence, Rhode Island. We're on the campus of Brown University at Marvel Field, where the hometown Brown Bears are going to take on the Raiders from Colgate in New York State. Have made the trip down for this one. This is Liberty Conference Rugby, part of National Collegiate Rugby's conferences in the Northeast. I'm John Broker, and I am joined by Thomas Wheels Grant as we take a look at the Brown team getting ready. Wheels, a little bit of trouble with the field and the weather today.
Yeah, we saw in the previous match here, John, Brown Women's coming out victorious in very, very treacherous conditions, although it does look like the rain has stayed away. And for Brown, they are looking to continue on their 3-0 win streak. Colgate looking to get on the board this season. Promises to be an enterprising encounter as we see Coach LaFlamme delivering the final words.
Yeah, Coach LaFlamme there. He is talking to his team. They have the return of Raphael Lancenor at number 10. Keep an eye out for the French-born player that played his high school rugby in Singapore. Brown 3-0 in the season. Win over Iona last week, 32-5, 59-0 over Harvard. Also beat Syracuse. As we take a look at the Colgate Red Raiders, coached by Dave Chapman, what are we looking for here at Wheels?
Yeah, Colgate Raiders, unfortunately 0-2 to start the season. Had a loss to 14, 15 points to nil, and a loss to Syracuse last week, 52-12. It is a massive test for these boys today up against Brown University. The biggest one of the season, no doubt. Looking to start that juggernaut.
They are on a roll, Brown. Colgate is going to be kicking off, running from right to left on your screen. You see Ali Corbin in the back there with the red scrum cap in hand. He'll be coming on, returning from injuries, a second row / number 8. One of the best players in the country at the moment at the collegiate level. English-born player. The referee for today's matchup is Alec Tolivaisa. Tolivaisa is going to take control of this match. And we're set to get underway with Colgate coming from right to left. Colgate coming out.
As you can see, the conditions today in Rhode Island, very, very soggy. The players will need their scuba diving gear today, won't they, Johnny? Get the goggles on and get into the mud.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be a muddy day out here as these teams are getting ready.
We just press record. Okay, now I'm record.
We are underway here. Colgate has kicked this one off. Brown on the move. Just missed an opening kickoff, but referee Tolivaisa has him in here. There's Lancenor.
Okay,
First touch of the ball, Lancenor.
I want to record on the SD card.
From Aix-en-Provence. Kicks it, puts it inside the Colgate half. Early penalty against the Raiders. Going to be an opportunity here for the Brown Bears, Wheels.
Yeah, early opportunity here within the first 10 seconds of the game. And rightful penalty as well. Straight on the ball, holding on was the call. And looks like the number 10, Lasson Manier, looking to clear into the 22 and launch an attacking raid early on in this game.
So, are you seeing images or no?
They have put it down near the 22. You can see the mud down this end of the field a little more pronounced. Just the women played today, one over Mount St. Mary's. So this is the second game in this field on this muddy day, although the rain, as you said, has let down. The freshman McAlpine ready to go after this ball in the front there. Scored a big try last week against Iona. Kind of changed the tempo of the game there. Put the Bears in a bit of a better position. Lewis moves that one to Lancenor. He gets into the middle of the field. Big charge there from the captain, Dan Archer, South African-born powerhouse. 5'10", 220 out of Johannesburg. Lewis going to go back the other way to Lancenor. Lancenor, he can move that ball wide on the string. They've done it again. Slips out of the hands of one of their forwards into touch. But we're going to come back here for a penalty against the Red Raiders.
Yeah, you touched on there the captain, Dan Archer. Had the pleasure of meeting him last weekend. Very, very cool, calm and collected off the field and leads with his actions on the field. As you can see there, he is a very, very strong human. And number 5 from Colgate, Jake Petoff, got to feel that head on. Here we go for a line out, 5 out.
Opportunity here. A good maul for this team. Dave LaFlamme coaching this team. Eddie O'Sullivan, a technical director, was in this past week. No defense there in the line out. So the player was just going to run right in as Lewis gets a hold of it. Lansanur flat on the line, has a runner, as the big fella Archer eyeing up the try line, but finds a couple of Raiders defenders. Ball quickly moved out there into the hands of O'Donoghue. Now they move it towards the wing. They're right at the try line. Colgate players powering in there, but referee has spotted something. Little knock-on creeps in. We're going to have a scrum here to Colgate. Colgate under a bit of pressure so far, Wheels.
Yeah, under a bit of pressure so far, and if this game is anything to go like Brown's last week, Johnny, their scrum was absolutely applying the pressure to Iona. The front row of Gabriel Alhasso and Archer working very good in combination. Let's see what they do at this first scrum here.
Referee Tola Vaisa is going to bring us up here. He wants safety. Muddy field creates a little bit of trouble. It's going to bring us to greener pastures. Still 5 meters out. Colgate need to win a solid one here. There's that power scrum that we're looking to see. There's a penalty immediately and right through the back there. Looks like Estevez, the number 8, plays for the Portugal U20s. Opens up the scoring for the Brown Bears. Just sheer power.
Sheer power is the correct word there, Johnny. The scrum was all too much, pushing the Colgate Raiders pack straight back into the in-goal line, and the ball popped out the back for Estevez, and all he had to really do was pop it over, beating one defender. But there we said, as we touched on before, the scrum, a prominent weapon. As we take a look at the replay here, just look at that push. The timing was impeccable. And as you can see, the ball pops out the back for Estevez, just breaks through those two tandem defenders, and what a try to start the match.
Good work. Kick to come from Lansanur, first kick of the season. On his return from injury, as we noted, the Aix-en-Provence, France-born fly half, another sophomore on this Brown squad.
I'm looking to see how to get the...
Eyes up the posts. No player's going to rush him here. Takes his shot. And his first one is good. We're at 7-0. Brown leads Colgate.
It's all above it. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay.
We're coming back out here. Colgate looking to get the game underway again. Little squib kick down just about 30 meters out. The try scorer Estevez works the ball away quickly. Some fancy passing, but torn away by the Raiders. Raiders knock it on themselves. Going to be a scrum here for Colgate.
Yeah, it's good early to have a look here at Colgate Raiders. See how they can attack, what their setup's like in the back line. So we can see it was a wobbly old kick and forced Brown to cough up the ball. Always tough on collection on these soggy surfaces.
Tough scrummaging day. First scrum of the game, obviously you saw the Brown power, and now you're going to see it again. This could get tricky for the Raiders. Estevez is up, and Estevez puts it to the boot, finds some soggy track down the end there. Players rushing onto it. Colgate trying to clean this one up. Brown seems to have taken it away. Another opportunity here. This time it's Gabriel. Gabriel, another Portuguese player on this team. Lewis looking for a runner. Lansanur has some runners out wide. Ball knocked around. Estevez gets involved again. Eventually, Dyer can't handle it. Just a little overexcitement here from this Bears team.
Yeah, you can certainly see their intentions are clear. No matter the conditions, they're still looking to throw the ball around here early on. Really try and stretch this Colgate Raiders defensive line. as you can see from the last scrum, it's going to be such a weapon for them. So Colgate really need to think about their techniques early on, how they can counter-attack that front row pressure, as Colgate will have to defend here. Another treacherous scrum.
This one, a Brown scrum. Look for a bit more stability. Estevez has a look around. See what he wants to do. Estevez, they're just driving this one forward. Breaks off the back to Lewis. Lewis gets it to Lonsanor. Lonsanor is a player coming to the back and Dyer. O'Donoghue looking for the corner. Can't find it. But they're going to have some players find across the field. They find him. Estevez inside the 5-meter line. Cannot find the try line that time. Lonsanor puts in a pot of forwards in the middle of the field. Down they go. Ball squirts out in the favor of Colgate. Colgate puts it to the boot wisely. Clears their lines. No one back there. Foot races on. Brown seems to be winning at the moment. Player slides down on this muddy field. Able to hang on to it. Zeller inside center comes in and cleans that one up. Dylan Lewis looking for the correct runner. Finds him as a right at the 40-meter line. Back to Dyer. Dyer looking for some runners. Finds Lonsanor. Lonsanor finds somebody out wide. That's Cortabaria. Makes that pass. Cortabaria moves it to the wing there. To Pablo Lavilla. Lavilla from Madrid. Here's the captain, Archer. Archer barrels his way. Cross halfway. A little bobbly ball for Lonsanor. They're going to hang on to it there. Good work to keep it alive. Henrique Gabriel. Gabriel puts the ball wide. Here they come. Good run coming on. There's Estevez. Estevez staying alive somehow, but we have a crossing penalty from the Bears. It's going to come back. It's going to be a penalty for Colgate. Referee Alex Tolaisa right on the spot.
Yeah, spotted the wee obstruction there. Estevez probably didn't expect to be still on his feet, and a couple of men just got caught in front of him. But pretty ominous signs early on here for Colgate when Brown went to get the ball in hand, as we have a look at the replay here. Estevez strong on his feet and just trying to spot, I think it may have been the number 14 from Brown, Max O'Donoghue, potentially just caught in the wrong position there.
Brown just trying to move a little bit quick in these conditions. They are a fast-track team, good handling, play well. But this is a tough one as Alhasso has to take that down. Alhasso from Reading, England. Lewis finds Lonsanor. He has a potential for a 50-22, but keeps it infield. Let's see if it'll sit in the mud. It will. It's right at the try line. Tough to handle there for Grunther. Have to feel for him. Tries to put it to the left boot and drops it straight down. Gets it on the second kick, but not before a knock-on. Scrum coming at the 5-meter line for Brown. Wonderful opportunity for them, Wheels.
Yeah, a little bit of a comedy of errors there for the fullback, Colgate. Ben Grunther almost needs the gumboots down in that 5-meter channel, doesn't he, Johnny? Very, very tough to collect the pill.
Grunther, a freshman.
Mud, but...
Yeah, you see it here. Just that mud in the way. The freshman, tough to handle that one. West Caldwell, New Jersey, or North Caldwell, New Jersey. Pardon to the Caldwells. As we come back for a scrum, to Brown, Dylan Lewis, ball in hand. Dylan Lewis from Rye, New York. It is rugby in the area. And Pelham and Rye. Ball coming back at the feet of Estevez. He's looking for the pushover try. Comes back there. Lonsanor has it. Gets it to Zeller. Whistle, however. We're going to come back, I believe, for a knock-on against the Bears. Good shot of Zeller there. Another freshman from Rentham, Mass. Played his rugby at Zavarian Brothers in high school. And Wheels, I'm not sure Colgate really wants to scrum that much this game after their first few.
No, definitely not. Brown have certainly set the tempo and the standard when it comes to scrum time. As we saw, it was such a weapon for them last week against Iona as they push heavy here. And they get the ball back.
Estevez. 2 in a row for Estevez. Estevez touches down, and a lead extends to 12. You can see the front row fellas there congratulating one another. Good work by the Bears. Estevez adding to the score sheet.
Yeah, he'll pick up a double within the first 10 minutes here at Marvel Field. And As you touched on just before, here it is here. Scrum time. Colgate with the feed, but it couldn't quite match the power of Gabriel, El Hasso and Archer. Look at that strong square push, and all Esteves had to do was put on the wee right to left step and put it down past the white chalk line. 12-0 with a kick to come.
Lansanur, 1 for 1 so far. Colgate not rushing this again. Lansanur. Easy strike there. We're at 14-0. 12.5 minutes gone in the first half here at Marvel Field. That man is good. 2 for 2. Colgate, some work to do here, Wheels.
Certainly some work to do from the first 10 minutes here. It's certainly been all Brown University. Colgate haven't had the opportunity to apply any pressure within Brown's half. They need to look for a nice deep kickoff here and try and peg them down in their own 22 line. Let's see if they can get a deep one here, Johnny.
Another little squib kick. It's handled. Good work there from Sam Jana, Chilean-born. Arm out here from referee Tolvaisa, but not sure if it's an actual penalty or it's just keeping players on side as the ball comes back. Dyer this time. Dyer hangs one up. Is it going to stay in field? It will. It's in the mud. Defense coming on. Another attempt there from Grunther. He's having a tough day already. Advantage from the knock-on for the Brown Bears. They may want to run with this one. Dylan Lewis finds Lansanur. Lansanur gets to do a hard running forward in the middle of the field, drawing in that Colgate defense. Player in the way. Penalty for player not being able to roll away in the mud from Colgate. Tough luck for him, but penalty here for Brown.
Yeah, it certainly makes it very, very tough to get out once you've made a tackle in this mud. It's going to be really, really key for these players to try and work hard on the ground and get themselves out of the ball's way so it can be played, but pretty clear-cut decision there for the referee.
Dyer, the sophomore from Kentfield, California, Redwood High School grad. Puts that one down. It'll be a line out here for Brown, just about 7 meters out. Opportunity to extend this lead even further over the Colgate Raiders. David Chapman's charges under the cosh a little bit at the moment. Lansanur. To the tail of the line out they go, but it slips over the top, back into the hands of Colgate. Good fortune for them. Little miscue. Referee whistles for the knock-on. We'll have a scrum here for Colgate. I think they would rather stay with the advantage and try to work that one out of there.
Yeah, last week we saw Johnny Brown did struggle a little bit when it came to line-out time. Iona were pretty good defensively at getting up and snatching the ball away on jumpers, so that's certainly something they would have worked on at training, no doubt. Coach LaFlamme would have wanted them to tidy that up.
Adam Alter, scrum half, sophomore for Colgate, just wants the ball a little cleaner. No one can blame him for that right now. Econ major from Washington, D.C. Big drive again from Brown. Trouble brewing here. There's Esteves. No hat trick coming right now. As they move the ball wide, do they have the runners? Zeller. Zeller, a powerful figure in that midfield for Brown over the past 3 years. His final year here. Looking to lead the team to higher honors. We're going to come back here. Scrum penalty against Colgate. Brown opportunity. And Brown calls for a scrum. They know where their bread is buttered at the moment.
Yeah, certainly so. It's their most destructive weapon at the moment, putting Colgate under all sorts of pressure. We've already seen both tries come from it. Potentially, though, maybe a bit far for a push out. We could see a set-piece move here. Lonsonure.
Here they go. Lonsonure is going to get that one. Wheels, the man that knows. They go with an inside move there. Little seatbelt tackle coming over. We have a high tackle advantage. Lewis has some runners, though. Lonsonure can go wide with this one. It does. Lonsonure skips that one out and try awarded. It looks like Pablo Lavilla. The left wing touches down for a try, and Brown up to 19.
Yeah, pretty clear-cut finish there in the corner for Pablo Lavilla out of Madrid, Spain, Runnymede College. So we'll get a look at the replay in just a moment. Here it is. It was the set-piece move, and the halfback had to do. Dylan Lewis just cleared it out to Lonsonure, had to throw the cutout pass to Estevez. The real basic draw and pass, and put Lavilla in the corner.
I don't think anybody would have blamed Estevez for trying to hold on to that one and get a hat trick 3 in a row, but unselfishly off to his teammates. Pablo Lavilla, another senior on this team. Lonsonure from a little bit of a further angle. Lonsonure launches that one and finds it. He has been on the mark, 3 for 3, 21-0. Under 20 minutes gone in the game. Brown leading Colgate here at Marvel Field. Liberty Conference Rugby in National Collegiate Rugby.
Yeah, Lonsonure looking a very nice striker of the ball. A very methodical approach, head down, follow through. Gets 3 from 3. It's always a good start for a kicker on a day like this. Coach Dave LaFlamme will be no doubt looking to rotate balls throughout this 80 minutes.
They're just electing a kick from right in the mud here. A little surprising. Be allowed to move over just a bit. Good catch there by Beauregard. Rhett Beauregard from Colgate. Senior computer science major. First attacking a part of the game for these Raiders. I want to get some points on the board here in the first half. A lot of work to do. Penalty this time for player with his hands in against Brown. Colgate opportunity here. We'll see what the decision is. Looks like they're going to go for the corner and try to take the line out down inside Brown's 22.
First real attacking opportunity for Colgate in this game. Deep inside Brown's 22. Interested to see what their tactics are. They're going to opt for the maul or look to shift it wide.
Brown typically a strong maul. We'll see where they go with this one. Coach Dave Chapman. Sure looking for his players. Something done. We now have a ball. Players get started just a bit too early there. We're going to come back. Brown contesting, the ball comes down to Colgate. Spills to the ground and spills just a bit forward. Scrum for Brown. Good outcome for the Bears, unlucky for the Raiders.
Yeah, I thought he'd regathered it there for a minute, but just as he brought it to ground, he just lost control of the ball. Unlucky there for the lock. Horozowski, PJ Horozowski. Looked a pretty good setup at line-out time. It just couldn't quite control it when it came to ground. Brown, they'll be happy with this.
Dylan Lewis puts it in. Brown looking for the scrum penalty potentially. And has to get the scrum penalty at some point here. Well, back to Lonsonure. Lonsonure launches one downfield. It's going to stay in field. Taken at the 50 by Colgate. Zeller makes a hit. Player isolated here for Colgate. Going to have to recycle this one. And has not done. Holding it in as a Brown player was all over him. It looked like McAlpine, the freshman. Opportunity to move the ball downfield for the Bears as Dyer steps up.
Yeah, just a little bit isolated there. It's the Colgate winger, and Brown like beats to a honeypot straight on the ball, and gave referee no choice but to award the penalty.
A little conversation here between Archer and the referee. I'm sure he's discussing whether it should have been a scrum penalty or not.
As all good front rowers like to do, Johnny.
He's a very passionate player for this team, Dan Archer. Lewis is back. Dyer doesn't find touch. Quick kick back there. Alonsenor set to field it. Alonsenor at his 22 has attacking options. Archer slips in the mud, but able to recycle it. Lewis digging it out. Wide pass. They've got runners out here if they want to go. Archer gets his hands around, does a good job. McAlpine scored a long-range one last week. He offloads it to Lewis. Lewis gets it inside. Nice offload again. Alonsenor headed towards the line. Not the biggest fella on the field, so not going to power through people. More the skill player. He's going to get rid of that one, and over the line they go.
What a try.
And Esteves gets his hat trick. Great team try there, Wheels.
Team try of excellence for sure in these conditions as well. Esteves getting his name on the board 3 times in this match, but it was all the work, really, of 1 to 15, wasn't it? As we'll have a look at the replay in just a minute. It all started from a beautiful cutout pass. I think it was Alonsenor who just got it to the edge and bet the Colgate midfield defensor of Spencer Hill. And lovely interpassage of play passing in the channel. Here we go. It was Dyer who threw the cutout pass to his prop Gabriel, and the lovely cut back in from the number 7 Cameron McAlpine, who threw it off to his 9 Lewis, and Dyer again involved in play. And all they had to do was set a phase, and they had the Colgate Raiders defensive line scrambling. And what a try to Esteves. That is a good team try, Johnny.
Great work across the board, as you said. Wonderfully done by the Bears. Alonsenor set to convert.
Kick's good.
Alonsenor, kick is good. They have moved it on 28-0. Brown Bears looking strong here. Colgate waiting for a ball.
Yeah, the ball retrieval crew have got their work cut out for them today in the mud. They need to get the towels out as well, get it sanitised and clean.
Colgate and right to the front there, just a line drive kick. Brown, no contest there, able to reset. Big run coming in here, powerful up to the 30. Lewis looking for runners, finds Dyer. Dyer has a couple of people outside of him. Player covered in mud, can't see that number. To the 22 they go. Runners across the field. There's holes out wide if they want to get it there. They're going to punch it right through the middle through Esteves. Now Alonsenor has another couple of runners. They're just using these spaces so well. Brown at the 22. Working this left-hand side of the field. Little chip through from Dyer. Will it sit up for somebody? Pressure going to come on. Ball rolls into touch around the 5 meters. Colgate under pressure at their own line. Territorial play from the Bears.
Yeah, that's good game management there from Dyer. They could have kept the ball alive, but he spotted the space in at the back, and really this is a win for Brown because Colgate are really struggling to exit out of their own 22 here, so you'll see Brown get up in a contest here, no doubt.
Esteves looking to contest in that one. They put it up. It's gone back and around. It's the big fella comes and takes that one. Big run coming on. Beeling driven back. Good defense from Colgate. Lewis finding the right spot. It's Alhasso. Esteves at first receiver. Lewis finds a runner out to the left. Lansanur gets it to a waiting forward. Alhasso again. Alhasso from Reading, England. Wellington College grad. Zeller looking for one in the middle, but it's knocked by Colgate. We're going to go back here for a scrum to Brown at their own 22. Just a little stilted on that one, Wheels. They couldn't quite find their rhythm.
No, I couldn't quite find the rhythm on that. And credit to the Colgate Raiders defence there, making it a bit of a nuisance for Brown there. Interesting to see. I thought he might have only just stuck one hand out at that ball. The midfielder there for Colgate. I think it was Robbie Wolf, and obviously that's usually a penalty for a deliberate knockdown, as Brown did have some overlapping attackers, but nevertheless.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you there. I thought I saw the same thing. Brown happy to scrum. Across the 22 they go. Estevez goes to the left. Bobbled ball there off the Lansanur pass. Still alive, however. Gets out to the fullback. Cortabaria. A sophomore. One of two Cortabarias on the squad. His brother on the reserve bench. Cortabaria played flanker last year, now plying his trade at fullback. A Len Jesuit graduate. Here comes Archer. He's got Gabriel coming over him. Lansanur finds Dyer. Dyer finds some room. Dyer looking for a little offload there, but thinks the better of it. Lewis has to move it across. Lansanur calling for a pod there just so intelligently, and here's McAlpine. McAlpine, a big future for this team. Here comes a big run. It looks like Zeller. And indeed, it is Will Zeller, the senior. Comes in from the center, scores that try. Brown continues to push this Colgate side.
Yeah, well done, Brown. There he is, the try scorer, Zeller, out of Rentham, Massachusetts. Very well keeping the ball alive, aren't they, Brown? Just so organised, and everyone knows their role, as we see Monsignor through the nice short pass to McAlpine, who was strong, just busting through tackles, leg driving, in turn popped it off to Zeller, who just carried momentum over the try line. There's all sorts of trouble here for Colgate. They need to huddle up and find some ways to counter-attack this Brown onslaught.
Should be a chip shot here for Lansanur. And the commentator's curse is alive and well. 31-0. That one chips off the post for Lansanur. He likes the more challenging ones.
It's a bit like my golf game at the moment, Johnny. Not great, so always slice.
Colgate getting close to the 30-minute mark of this first half here at Marvel Field. Beautiful Providence, Rhode Island, on this first rainy day of October. Tommy McHale, sophomore from Kensington, Maryland. Played rugby since he was 6, played at Georgetown Prep. Pushes one downfield. This one a little bit longer. Estevez gets a hold of it. Estevez gets by the first. Gets taken down by... Well, does not get taken down by Petov. Takes 2 or 3. They're out across the 40-meter line. Ball back to Lansanur. Sitting a bit deep here. Lansanur hangs a wobbly one up in the air. Well taken by Grunther. Grunther well tackled by Brown. Brown going to need to roll away. Player doesn't get away quick enough. A penalty here for the Bears. Colgate will be happy to slow it down a little bit, move this one downfield for a line-out.
Yeah, good decision there by the referee, Cameron McAlpine, just caught in the wrong position there. Didn't quite get out of the breakdown quick enough, and obviously a great take by Gunther at the back. Grunther, rather, and carried some good momentum with him, and they wanted to play quick, but they get the penalty instead.
Brodeur to put this one in, the junior economics major from Ridgewood, New Jersey. Nearly double pumped on that one. Brown able to take that away. Brown going to have to get this one on the ground. It does. Good defensive line out from the Bears. Gabrielle happy to take that one in. Lewis surveying his options. Finds Lansanur. Lansanur is going to hang one up in the air again. Grunther getting some practice back there today. Injured player here for Colgate. Colgate pops that one into some open space. A little opportunity for them, but doesn't come to hand. Referee's going to whistle us up here. Come back. On a knock on there from Colgate. Looks like going to be a scrum here for Brown.
Yeah, interesting. No advantage played there as it looked like Pablo Lavia wanted to make a break downfield, but obviously a double knock spotted. But credit to Grunther at the back for Colgate after making a couple of early mistakes in the game. He's been very solid at the back, and Senyor's been pretty persistent in giving him some high balls. So he's done well to fight his way back into this game as we see some medical attention there required for one of the Colgate gentlemen.
Brown trainer Kelly, been on the program for a long time.
He's got a big smile on his face. It's either a smile or a grimace, so I don't know how much pain he's in. I can imagine it's a grimace.
Through there, the freshman. Looks like he's going to get replaced here. Coach Chapman going to replace a player here. So we're about 8.5 minutes to go on the game clock in the first half. Referee Tolovaisa will have the decision when this half ends. We may have a little referee's time. Been a couple of injuries.
Yeah. Obviously these cold conditions makes it really tough as well to get the body warm, and really key that these players are working hard to ensure that everything's all loose and ready to go as the referee looks like he's ready to restart play and substitution comes on.
Lewis ready to get it started again. Estevez at the back. The ball at his feet. They're going to drive this one forward. No scrum penalty coming again. Lonsnor has some runners. He's going to skip by Zeller. They're going to put that into the hands of O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue is going to slip a tackle. O'Donoghue is going to offload it. That one doesn't work, but it comes back there to Dyer. Dyer with a little backhand. Lonsnor for the corner, and Lonsnor, Raphael Lonsnor scores another great try for the Brown Bears. Even in the mud, they are flying high.
Yeah, that's some very, very appealing rugby union there from Brown. Some lovely set of offloads. You wouldn't think it's a mud bath out there or there's been sideways rain, because Brown are really, really brings up some magical handling in these conditions. As we have a look at the replay here, Lewis just fed it out to Lonsonure through the wide pass to Dyer and held the pass to O'Donoghue, the winger, who gave a little wee cat flap offload and bounced back in the hands of Dyer, and Lonsonure had a clean race to the try line and in the corner. That is a really well-worked try there from Brown University.
We saw Lonsonure earlier on the try line, had to try to barrel his way through. That's not his kind of try. What you just saw was good speed, good vision, finding the corner. Let's see if he can hit this one to add to his tally for the day. Lonsonure from the corner pushes that one, and it just sneaks over the posts. He really doesn't like to kick from in front. He wants to go out wide and puts another 2 on the board. Raphael Lonsonure as we get into the later stages of this second half.
Yeah, the man out of United World College in Singapore, Coach LaFleur, might have to be buying this kid lunch if he keeps slotting them from all over the park. He's making it look very, very easy.
2 balls in the field. Colgate prefers to play with just 1, so we're going to move this one off. Tommy McHale going to go to the right side this time. See what they can find over there. Not much luck for Colgate so far in this half. Wide pass out to the wing, rolls in a touch, just a little miscue. Line out coming for Colgate. 5 1/4 minutes to go. Estevez just a bit slow to get up.
Yeah, Colgate will be looking to get something on the board heading into halftime, just to build a little bit of confidence. Obviously 38 zip down, but getting some points on the board, very crucial before halftime.
Miscue the line out from Colgate player, just pushing it back. Counter ruck coming in from Brown, but they're able to get it away. Alter moves it out to a waiting forward. That's McLaughlin. An advantage arm out here for Colgate. Colgate playing through with this. Player get isolated out there. We're going to come back for the penalty. Referee Tolavaisa is going to put it right there. Players offsides. And Robbie Wolf is going to toe and go at this one. Zeller launches a player over him. Wolf steps into the distributor position, gets it to McHale. McHale gets some on-rushing Bears forward. Ball up there to Sebastianelli. Sebastianelli takes it in, the freshman from Wayland, Mass. Rushing defense coming on from Brown here, nearly picked off by Dyer. We're going to come back for a penalty against for that swat down, and this one deserves a penalty.
Yeah, that's the correct decision there. I thought he was going for just the knock-on, but didn't really make any real attempt to catch the ball, and the correct decision made there, and Colgate will look to clear it to touch.
Just over 3 minutes to go on the game clock, and they cannot find touch there. They do find the ball, however. Good recovery, so they're at the 20-meter line. Lonsanur couldn't quite grasp onto that one, and Wolf chased it down. Alter looking for some runners. He's got a set of forwards there. Nice move there by Petoff. Petoff, the freshman from Mayfield, New Jersey. Mayfield, New York, pardon me. Ball out into the hands of Ben Sachs. He gets it to the wing, but again, defense from Brown. Very solid. Player trying to poach here, and he gets that penalty. No worries. Alter tried to hang on to it just a bit too long there.
Yeah, unfortunate for Colgate. Just didn't have the arriving players there to secure the breakdown, and Cameron McAlpine is known for being good over the ball and too strong, too stable there to release.
Brown pushes it downfield as we're just over 2 minutes to go on the game clock in this first half. Another attacking opportunity. Can they extend their lead beyond 38? Colgate will take some solace to the Sheds if they can hold them out for these last two. Ball comes down to Lewis. Lewis gets it to Lonsanur, who has a group of runners. Archer is going to do the honors. Lewis finds Dyer. Dyer finds a runner in the middle of the field. Nice little offloads again. Here's O'Donohue. O'Donohue across the 22. O'Donohue, couple of players paying attention to him. Able to recycle. Ball up in the hands. That's Estevez. That's 4. That's a big statement from the number 8 in this first half. Great try by Brown. The score moves along.
Yeah, Coach LaFlamme will be very happy heading into halftime just to keep itching that scoreboard up on Colgate. As we see here on the replay, they did well to shift it to the edge. It was O'Donoghue, a bit like skating on ice. He managed to keep his feet. All he had to do was lay it back for Estevez, who again is just a very strong, powerful human, and took 2 defenders with him over the try line. 4 tries to your name, young man. Well done. And Lonsanur will look to add the cherry on top here.
4 tries in the first half. We've got some time left, Wheels.
Very
we'll see
true.
where we can get
Very
to.
true.
Lonsanur in his preferred position of a more challenging kick. I believe that will be the end of the half as we see the Colgate players working their way towards the sideline. I'm sure he shouldn't get a second shot at this. They've all crossed the line before he's made his approach. Hangs that one up, and off the post it goes. And that is halftime. Brown leads 43-0 over Colgate. We see Alonso and a very happy Coach Dave LaFlamme right there. We're going to step away for some messages. We're going to bring you Liberty Conference Rugby here at Brown University after this. This is Liberty Conference Rugby on ESPN.
You see here that Mulea decides.
Lex, a senior from St. Louis, right first 5 points to the Fordham Rams.
When things are sloppy like here, so it's
Knocks it down for a. They call him Whoppy, is what I understand. Tackle goes in.
Whoppy, you're right, just has that speed.
Going in, breaking.
Plenty of options out wide as they cross the halfway. Here come the running Eagles. Little step out, little step back in. That is from Nina Mason, the freshman. Nina Mason under the sticks. 5 points, 40 seconds in.
Right from the midfield, just 40 meters out.
Farnan steps through, and Emma Farnan is headed for the try zone. One to beat. Emma Farnan is going to get in, no problem. Great work there. Working his way towards the line for another. Etienne Tenney scores the try for Sam Houston State, the junior from Dallas, Texas. Johnson gets it back out to the try scorer, Moyer. The tape slipping higher and higher up his head. Gets it out to the corner, and this could be the game winner, Dominic Holmes. Dominic Holmes, tongue hanging out, a little flair to what he does. Touches down a try. 5 points, IUP up 12-7.
The other way. Indiana get the penalty. They'll continue to attack. Brown hands it off to Fleck. Fleck dives over next to the post, and Indiana eventually go 100 meters to score the opening try.
There is Ayub Jolly. Ayub Jolly is going to cross the line, and Ayub Jolly, the sophomore from Casablanca. Mutuku, the main playmaker here, steps in, steps out. He's got a number of defenders to beat, but Mutuku is going to touch it down in 15-0.
They are an extremely talented roster, showing it already, opening up here with an early try. Logan Buckman gets 5 points for the Golden Bears. A reach here for Notre Dame College. She dots this one down right underneath the post. It's been a big performance from the 23 in Albury Boying. She gets a try. First half, she went the length. Kindler comes at her but can't get there. And Grand Canyon down the player. It doesn't matter. That's it. A 9-point cushion, kick to come.
Great Montrose as the number 4 quickly turned over there.
Welcome back to Providence, Rhode Island, Brown University. Big game going on here on Next Level Rugby. Big lead here for the Bears. John Broker with Thomas Wheels Grant. We're going to take a look at some first half highlights. Wheels, let's talk about this man, Raphael Lansanur.
Yeah, here's the first player spotlight on his kicking abilities in this conditions here in the first half. The first one just sailing through the uprights. Just have a look at his approach. The man out of United World College in Singapore. very concentrated, just 2 steps, lovely balanced follow through, really visually pleasing technique to watch. And this was his third and a real tough one. You can see he had a bit of wind sideways, and again, just striking them so well. You can see he's got real confidence in his own abilities.
All right, we're going to get restarted. Brown in the brown and white, running from right to left on your screen. The man Lonsanor gets us started. Colgate under pressure here is going to receive this first ball. Wearing red, running from left to right on your screen. Off we go for the second half. 40 minutes left in this Liberty Conference matchup here on Next Level Rugby. Knock on by the Raiders. It's going to be a scrum here for Brown. Wheels, great attacking position.
Yeah, good attacking position for Brown to continue on their momentum that they built in the first half. Coach LaFlame, I can imagine, would have been very, very pleased in the team huddle at halftime. Colgate just need to hang in the fight. Just stay composed. Try and build some phases in this tough mud.
Ball at Estevez's feet. Gets to Lewis. Lewis a little obstructed there, but gets it to Lonsanor. Incoming wing spills it forward. Advantage here for Colgate. Colgate's at their own line. Push that one down outside the 22. Still an arm out here for an advantage. Going to bring it back. It's going to be a scrum here for Colgate just inside the 40-meter line where Estevez knocks that one on.
Yeah, that one caught me a little bit by surprise. I thought he might have just done enough for it to be knocked backwards, but the referee deemed that it did move forward, and Colgate will be happy. Well, probably not so happy to have a scrum, but hopefully they've had a talk at halftime about how they can counter-attack this Brown front row, who's been so prominent early on.
Big pressure coming on from Brown. Ball down to their feet. Here's Estevez. Estevez at the 22. Moves it out there to Cortabaria. Cortabaria hands off. An easy defender. And 1 minute and 40 seconds into the second half. Brown extends their lead. 48.
Yeah, they start the second half just as they started the first. That is with complete scrum dominance. You can see how nice it is for a backline to attack off when you've got such a strong platform laid by your forwards. Have a look here at the push. Look at this drive. This is very, very strong stuff from the Brown forward pack. And Estevez just drew in his man and put Cortabera down the sideline away. Dominating at scrum time and dominating on the scoreboard so far are Brown.
Lonsanor up again. You would expect to see Coach LaFlamme make some changes in this second half. Get some running time for his reserve bench. Coach Chapman likely to do the same. Get some game experience against top competition for his Colgate team. Lonsanor. Pushes that one across from the left-hand side. 48
He's missed his last
3
two.
minutes in.
Missed his last two here, Johnny. I think you may have well put the commentator's curse on it.
I certainly may have. We'll see how he rebounds. I'm sure he'll be fine. Referee Tolavaisa at midfield waiting for Colgate. Ball down to Estevez. He moves it on. We have a high tackle advantage against the Raiders. We're going to come back as a player came from the side as well, so they'll just hold it down. Lewis wanted to run. But Brown opportunity to push this one downfield as Dyer, JT Dyer steps in. Dyer pushes it downfield. A little slip there from the touch judge, but he's okay.
Touch judge, it's not only hard for the players, but the officials as well to keep their feet. He's having a good laugh about it. Good to see.
Brown to the attack here. McAlpine coming into the back. Ball down to Lewis. Moves it to Lansanor. He's got runners. Gets to Estevez. He puts soft hands into Archer. Dyer at the first receiver spot this time. Gets the ball away. Running flat in the middle of the field. This attacking pod system for Brown. Another penalty against Colgate there. Hands in. Trying to play the ball. Zeller takes a bit of offense. 48-0 lead. No need to be hot-headed.
No, exactly right. Stay calm, and I'm sure, as you know, Johnny, Captain Dan Archer will be making sure his troops continue to be well composed and pile on the points. He's very good at resetting the scoreboard to 0-0 as Dan Archer, the captain.
Ball down and around. Lewis a little further out. Big fella moves it to the 22. Colgate trying to rip that one away, but player not releasing. Good work by McHale. The fly half in for the poach. Ball not released quick enough by Archer. Will be a Colgate line out at their own 40-meter line. Brodeur steps up again. They go to the tail of the line out. Well taken. But down wasn't that good. Wolf in the distributor position gets it out. 6.5 minutes into the second half. A little bounce pass there. Wasn't quite what they wanted. We have a high tackle advantage here. Penalty against Brown again. I know Coach LaFlamme Wheels will want discipline in the second half. With a 48-0 lead, sometimes your teams just try to run from everywhere and go a little nuts. They want to get some structure back into their game.
Exactly right. When you're 48-0 up, it's very easy to fall asleep and take your eyes off the scoreboard. And as Brown progress deep into their season, they'll have moments that require cool, calm and collectedness, as that one is a little bit wonky and well spotted by the referee. But yes, important they stay composed.
Certainly is. They have some big games coming up as they head hopefully towards the postseason. Scrum here just inside the Colgate half for the Bears. Bears next week will play Fairfield University. Fairfield University beat Iona earlier this season. A couple of good wins for a big up-and-coming program. The Stags will be a challenge. Lewis gets it to Lansanor. Lansanor skips by Zeller. A little pop-up pass there. Pass in behind. Cortabaria can't quite hang on to it. Cortabaria at his own 40-meter line. Converted flanker. Can poach. And does. Great work, Cortabaria. Penalty for the Bears.
So we can hear the communication down there on the sideline. It sounds like Coach LaFlamme is looking to make some subs at this line out, and we'll endeavour to get those numbers for you as we see some players leave the field now.
I'm looking forward to some fresh jerseys where I can see the numbers clearly, Wheels. It's a bit money out there.
Ain't that right? As the man you talked about in pre-game, to me, Oliver Corbett enters the field, Johnny.
Oliver Corbett also on return from injury. Oliver Corbett, English-born, Played for the Free Jacks Academy. A very talented player, just coming back from injury. Here comes Zeller. I'm sure we'll see Ali Corbett come back into his own, but Zeller makes a huge hole in the defense there. The red scrum cap is Corbett. Corbett takes it into contact. Corbett, very intelligent. Played for the Northeast in National Collegiate Rugby All-Star play. Ball back into the hands of Dyer. They're going to look for the line out here. Despite the strength of the scrum, they're going to go for the line out.
Yeah, good opportunity for them to nail something that they probably haven't quite executed as good as they wanted to so far in the season, and that is line out time. We see had a few balls disrupted so far at line out time.
Corbett moves it back. Ball goes up over his head. Throw not there. Colgate player dragged back into his own try zone. So it looks like we will have a 5-meter scrum here for Brown. Referee Tolavaisa agrees, and we will indeed.
Yeah, I'm going to predict exactly what's going to happen here, Johnny. I think we could see our man Estevez involved in this play, I think. It's anything to go by the first half.
Estevez at the tail. Howard coming in. Driving across the line. They're looking for it. Estevez touches down and try awarded. 3 tries is a hat trick. 4 tries is a haul. 5 tries is called a glut. And Estevez has a glut of tries here against Colgate at Marvel Field.
There you go. You learn something every day. I did not know that. It's because you rarely get 5 tries in a game. Outstanding individual effort from this man out of Lisbon, Portugal, St. Julian's School. Here it is. It's a copycat of what we've seen so far in the first half. The first try. It's just a brilliant, strong, steady, square push. And all Estevez had to do was place his left and right palm on the ball, and the try was awarded.
I'm going to send some good vibes to Lancenor for this one. Try to pull the commentator's curse back as Lancenor eyes up the posts. Shakes out the nerves. 53-0 Brown over Colgate. Just 10 minutes gone in this second half. Plenty of time to play for these Bears.
Well done, Johnny.
There it is. I think all the credits. Good kick there from Lancenor. 55-0. Colgate really under the pump here.
Yeah, just under 30 minutes to go on this one. Colgate looking to try and get their name on the score sheet. I'd like to see them try and put up a few more high balls, really try and test this Brown back 3. Starts right here with the deep kickoff, hopefully. Not short.
Archer, or that's Gabrielle, excuse me. Mixing up my props. Gets an offload there. Lewis. Finds some runners. Soft hands coming through. Big collision in the midfield. That time it was Archer. Lewis has some runners. Dummy runner comes in. They had some width. Good rush defense there from Colgate to shut down. That's the midfield line you see. Lewis back out. A long kick from Brown. It's inside the 22 of Colgate. Colgate, move it back. The safety of touch beckons, but not found. Brown still on the attack here into Lavia's hands. He has to get back in the mud and take it. Lavia takes it on the way around. Lavia nearly lost it, but ball stays there for Estevez. Referee, however, spots a knock-on. Scrum coming for Colgate.
Yeah, just a wee bit of confusion there between the two players. As you can see, Estevez apologising to his man at the back, and still got a big smile on his face because he's had a great day out. 5 tries to his name, and no doubt we could see more to come.
Colgate putting this one from the tight head side. A little unorthodox, but at this point, they're just trying anything here. Estevez off the back to Lewis. Lewis finds a runner, but that gets knocked down by Cortabaria. He had an open lane, but the muddy ball had other ideas. We're going to have a scrum here for Colgate right at midfield.
I think if Santiago Cortabaria caught that one, he was away for all money. A massive gaping hole in the midfield. Just took his eyes off the ball for a little second, and it is tough, certainly, to grab the ball in these conditions, but he'll be disappointed with that one.
Wolf from Interlochen, New Jersey, played at Christian Brothers Academy to put that one in, but driven over. Estevez gets it, gets to Lewis. Lewis steps a couple. Lewis gets through a few more. Lewis offloads to Ollie Corbett. Ollie Corbett comes up with it. He unloads it like he never missed a step, but ball goes forward. Be a scrum here for Colgate. Big smile from Estevez there.
Colgate look to try and get this one out very, very quickly. We've seen the pressure continuing to be applied, and we're looking to exit here at a quick rate of knots.
Big scrum again. Corbett to the back this time. Ball in Corbett's hands. Corbett's away. Corbett has one more to beat. Always intelligently looking for somebody to get it to. Lewis finding some runners. Beeling coming along, the sophomore. Coach LaFlamme very happy with his progress. The ball comes out to Dyer in the midfield. Lansanur can't find a lane for somebody to pass to. Lewis back out. They've got some runners on the wing here. Corbett appears on the other wing. Gets the ball into the hands of Campbell O'Connor. Headed towards the try line they are. And another try for the Brown Bears. And the Brown Bears move it to 60.
Yeah, simple draw and pass there for Oliver Corbett. Doing very well, Brown, to stretch the ball from width to width, left to right. The man out of Chicago, Illinois. Here's the replay. Straight into the man with the red headgear, Corbett. All he had to do was draw and pass, but the massive fend from O'Connor on his opposite winger and just slid over the try line, and he's got a clean jersey, but not anymore.
Lansanur lines one up again. Bit of an angle for him. Squirrels enjoying the rainy weather, seeing what comes to surface in the background there. Not paying attention to Lansanur.
Rugby's a game for everyone, isn't it?
All are welcome at Marvel Field. Lansanur gets a little underneath that one, and it falls just shy, 60-0. Brown leads Colgate just under the halfway mark in this second half here in beautiful Providence, Rhode Island.
Been really impressed so far by the man wearing number 20, Justin Dyer. Very good for the Brown backline. We've seen him at first receiver a number of times. Looks like he's got a really cool, calm head on him. Good game management skills and a good boot to go with it.
Colgate kicks off once again. Estevez breaks through one. Estevez breaks through two. Estevez, not looking for the long range one this time, gets it off to Lavia. Lavia to the ground. Estevez comes in and gets that set. They have runners in the middle of the field here. Ball to the ground. Torn away this time. Great work by Ethan Hamlin. Ethan Hamlin, the sophomore from Simsbury, Connecticut. Played for Ed Mateo at Simsbury High School. Ball back inside their 40. They're going to kick this one downfield per Wheels' instructions to try to test that out. And Brown back on the attack across the halfway. Ball to Lonsanor. Lonsanor gets the ball to Corbett. Corbett into contact. Lewis to Lonsanor. Wide here. They have a player coming around. They have huge numbers out here if they can get it. There's Estevez. Ball back into Beeling. Beeling hands one off. Beeling takes 3 with him. Lewis has to dig, but he's got it. Dyer in the first receiver position. Ball spilled forward. Advantage here for Colgate. Colgate's going to come up and have a scrum.
We saw some words exchanged there between Estevez, one of the midfielders there for Colgate. Can't quite get a number, but number 12 there, Spencer Hill. So yeah, Estevez been right in the action and he'll be feeling on top of the world at the moment.
And you can just let those things go. It's 60-0, but the ball is at his feet again. Here comes Estevez. Estevez puts a little kick through. Estevez coming onto that ball, looking for drive over, but doesn't get it. Tackle came from somebody else on Brown. Counter ruck coming, but penalty against the Bears this time. Colgate opportunity to move this down as we're across the 3-quarter mark of this game. Touch not found again. Lonsanor dances. Gets a ball away. Estevez pops it up to Corbett. Corbett has a runner. Gets it way back inside. That's the intelligence of Corbett. Lewis shows. Lewis goes. Great team try. Great return. What work by Brown. You see their key players just rising to the fore.
That's a good reward for that man there. Number 9, Dylan Lewis, the Brown scrum half. He's controlled the tempo well today. Out of Rye, New York, Rye High School. So you see the replay here. It all started from this man. Look at him. Silky gave the wee offload away to Archer, off to Corbett, and back inside to Lewis, who was going to give Estevez a 6, but he said, no, I'll have one, thanks, and dashed away past the try line. And again, as I said, well deserved. He's done very well at controlling the tempo of this Brown forwards and backs.
Lonsanor checks his hair, checks the ball. Finds that one 67-0. 17 minutes on the game clock. Sure to see more changes coming from the Bears and both teams.
Yeah, good opportunity, as you touched on early, for both coaches, especially Brown, obviously, with the heavy scoreline, to rotate in some players that might not get as much minutes and blood them in. It becomes critical at the end of the season that you've got all players that have been used and play on.
And there's a reserve right there, welcoming himself to the Muddy Jersey Club. All up to a waiting forward there for Brown. Back to Lonsanor. A wobbly kick, just sits in the mud around midfield. Good work there from Alter to get it back to a waiting Colgate Raiders player. Bounces inside the 22. See what they decide to do. Another step here. And yet another step. Dummy run. It's coming around right now. It's Estevez. Estevez gets the ball back before he goes in the touch. Did he go forward? The referee says it did.
Well, Alonso, I'd like to see what he's like on the dance floor. He's very, very good with his feet, isn't he, Johnny?
He certainly is. I don't think he's going to have anything for the dance floor tonight. He's used it all up this afternoon. But I'm sure he'd be pretty good. You see Omar Al-Jandari has stepped into the game, wearing number 17 at Loosehead there. Fairport, New York native. Massive hit in last week's game against Iona. Really rattled one of the players from the Gales. Big scrum again from Brown. If that ball doesn't come back to Brown, there should be some kind of a scrum penalty. Players in from the side. Estevez hanging on to it. Estevez, ball to Lewis. They move it across. Taken in, not held. Referee's going to keep playing. Lewis looking for some runners. Gets it to his captain. He gets the 22. Takes a couple of Raiders with him. We've got some room out of the width here if they can get it, but they can't quite find the right pass. O'Connor couldn't handle that one. Flankers in there. Alonso Noor feeds awaiting Joe Ahasso. Ball out here into Corbett's hands. Corbett takes it back into traffic. Corbett gets through traffic. On the attack are Brown. Momentum and phases building. Numbers everywhere. See where they can get to outside. Player slips and partly tackled. Puts it down, able to get it back up. Now they'll reset. Lewis finds Corbett. Corbett loses control of that ball. That one gets spilled forward. Scrum coming for Colgate.
Yeah, just guilty of being a wee bit frantic there, Brown. Just probably playing a bit too fast and just needed to slow it down and get set. They had men ready, but when you're 67-0 up on the scoreboard, you can probably afford to throw it around a bit, can't you?
You certainly can. You know, Coach LaFlamme is probably wanting to ensure that no points get scored on them. Coach Chapman would like to take something this away before the ride back to New York. Another big scrum from the Bears. Ball's at Corbett's feet. Corbett in the number 8 position. Corbett rolling it forward. Corbett, he's over the line. And Corbett back in for the Brown Bears. Nearly scores the first one, but they're going to call a crossing penalty there. And it's going to be a penalty against the Bears. And Colgate moves it downfield for a lineout.
Yeah, I'll have to get that magnifying glass to have a look at that one. I'm not quite sure where he saw the obstruction there. It looked like Brown had set a really nice maul, but from the scrum, but obviously. So we have a look here at the replay. That was what I thought was the try scored, of course.
Take a little more of a look here. We'll go back.
Expert analysis. Corbett doing well to control it at the back, and
you call the flanker holding in there. But Brown has recovered this one. 12 minutes to go on the game clock. Messy pass, knocked on again. Colgate's held up by some Brown players, winds up in the hands of Al-Jandari, but we shall come back here. Scrum Colgate.
Just over 10 minutes remaining. We haven't seen Colgate feature really at all inside Brown's half. It's been all Brown in the second half. No opportunities within inside the 22.
Colgate driven backwards again. Tough day for their forwards. They'll be feeling it. Ball at the back here from Estevez. Little step. Working their way back inside. Archer comes up into for the distributor position, but puts a forward pass center to Estevez. And coming up next level rugby, we're doing a Friday night rugby throughout the 2022 season with National Collegiate Rugby. Join us next week for Harvard versus Yale. October 14th, Adrian at Thomas More. And October 21st, Chicago versus University of Illinois Chicago. A women's game, very talented teams there. Friday night rugby, full Fridays, produced by Next Level Rugby. Last night was St. Joe's versus Temple. St. Joe's coming out on top. Another huge drive in this game, however, from Brown. A little cheeky there as a player moved it back in. Estevez gets it out. Zeller ball in hand. Little volleyball top up there. He gets a ball away. Well handled by Brown. Brown on the attack again. Getting away from their structures just a touch. Ball comes out to Estevez, back into Corbett. Corbett across the 22. Corbett gets a ball up. What a great grab there. Looks like McAlpine. McAlpine near the line. McAlpine in a wrestling match. McAlpine scores. Try the freshman again. McAlpine looking strong as he joins his Bears team.
Yeah, McAlpine, his second try of the day, I believe. Very hard-working number 7. Coach LaFlamme rings this guy's praises, thinks he's got a bright future ahead of him. Have a look at, there he is out of London, England, King's College, Wimbledon. Very prestigious school. Have a look at the offload here. I just want you to have a look at Corbett and the red headgear. Obviously, Zeller does well to get some good go-forward ball and some fantastic hands there in the wet. And then let's have a wee look as they break through. And Corbett, have a look at this cat flap offload to absolute precision from Corbett. That is some fantastic skill set there to put his man McAlpine away. It's very, very hard to get an offload of that caliber away in these conditions, but you've sung that man's praises, Johnny. He's a good player.
He certainly is. And this may be the replacement Mertz will kick in this one. And that one goes over 72-0. 9 minutes to go on the game clock here. There may be some referee's time, probably not too much. As Brown rolls on. Kick was good, 74. Marvel Field getting a little worse for wear after today's games.
Great statistic coming in here from the Next Level Rugby head, but more points than minutes scored. Just shows Brown's dominance in this one.
And continuously through the game, they've stayed ahead of the scoreboard. Ball down to Estevez. He looks like he's going to do the full 80. See if he can move on from his glut. Ball out. Working back the other way. Replacement for Colgate. You can tell replacements this game by the freshly colored jerseys. Attempt for a 50-22 here. Doesn't find its way towards the line. Thought it was a little miscue handling there, but ball comes back out from Colgate. Player held up. Referee has an arm out for an advantage. And Cortabaria reverting to flanker type there. That's the other twin. That is Antonio Cortabaria, twin of the fullback, Santiago Cortabaria. From Belen Jesuit Preparatory School of Miami. The two Argentinian-born brothers playing at Brown now. Santiago, fullback.
So to see here a set piece play here from Brown. Look at the 10 and wing just stacked. And they're going to play it here, Lewis.
Big break. What a line from Zeller. Zeller keeps him ahead of the clock. 74-0. Brown over Colgate. Sorry, 79-0. Brown over Colgate. Great work
Silky
by
stuff.
the Bears. Zeller, what a line.
Well, they opted not to keep it into the scrum. Zeller again out of Rentham gets another try on the board. Look at this. Lewis, they opt to take it out quickly and pop it off to Dyke. Just holds the wide cutout pass nicely to William Zeller, who runs a fantastic line. And look at the dive under the sticks. Just like a 10-year-old kid sliding in the backyard. Good old days.
Pretty straight shot here. Just about 5 minutes to go in this contest. 79-0. Move it up to 81-0. Colgate on a tough road trip here. Players still smiling.
It's always fun, isn't it, Johnny? A bit of slip sliding in the mud as a young fella.
Certainly is. I remember those days. A little chilly at Marvel Field for us these days.
Yeah, we'll stay in this nice, warm, air-conditioned commentator's box instead. Thank you very much.
Colgate, 4.5 minutes on the clock, taking their time about it at the moment. Brown receives this one. Court to Baria. Hands that one off. Archer gets it to midfield. We're going to come back here for a penalty against Colgate. Didn't see a high tackle. Thought they should have played advantage there. Brown looked pretty strong. But we'll come to the penalty kick. Dyer launches one downfield. The Brown forwards work their way up. It's going to be a line out. 30 meters out from the Colgate line. 4 minutes to go on the game clock. Can they extend their lead? El Hasso still in the game. Conversation here between some players. Little dancing around as usual. Ball comes to Corbett eventually. Big scrum coming on. Their ball coming on. They're across the 22 almost. They've got players falling underneath from Colgate. That one has been brought down by Brown, so they're going to hang on to this. Good runner coming through there. Nice break. That looks like Mertzel. Now they move it wide. Ball into the hands of Estevez. Unselfishly gets rid of it. Campbell O'Connor eventually can't handle it. We're going to go back here. Shrill blast to the whistle. Penalty. It's going to be Brown ball.
Yeah, opting to go for the line out here, which is unsurprising. Something they still need to really execute. Brown and
2 minutes on the game clock. Corbett at the front of the line out here. Corbett, little step. Looks like they're going to the tail. The tail is open, but the ball flies over the top. Brown there to clean it up. Estevez getting a little too fancy, just trying to flip that one between his legs. Come back here for a scrum. Knocked on by Colgate. Scrum to Brown.
yeah, another opportunity here to potentially see another set play from Brown, or we know that if they keep it in tight, that they're very, very hard to stop this close to the line, but it's always a good opportunity when you're this high up on the scoreboard to work on maybe a few moves that you've come up with at training, and let's see what they've got.
And they've got Corbett at 8. They've got an advantage here. Too much power come through. Corbett looking forward. Corbett into the try zone. Late try for Ollie Corbett. 86 with a kick to come.
Yeah, my wishes didn't come true. They did what they're good at, and credit to them as well. There he is, Oliver Corbett, out of Cranley in England, Cranley School. It's his second try of the day, the man in the red headgear, as you touched on, returning from injury, and he's been very, very good off the bench as well. Controlling the ball nicely, football-like skills, or soccer rather, and punches the ball into the air and caps on a very, very convincing Brown performance.
Has his shirt off Estevez, so the referee may have said that's the end. We will see what happens. We have 10 seconds on the game clock here. Not sure of the referee's time. Referee Tolavaisa will let us know. Brown lines it up. That one sails just wide. And referee Tolavaisa whistles us for the end of the game. 86-0. Brown comes out in the lead. Quite a performance, Wheels.
An outstanding performance from Brown, really dominating in all facets of the game. Super organised in these tough conditions. As we'll see some notable mentions later on as we award our man of the match very soon. But Coach LaFlame, super happy.
Take a look there. Today's man of the match from Next Level Rugby is Brown's number 8, scored a haul, Antonio Estevez. Let's take a look at his day, Wheels.
Yeah, this man had a day out to remember, didn't he, Antonio Estevez? So we have a look at his first try here. Built off that strong scrum platform, did some nice sort of scutter step work and just had to put the ball over the grass. But not only was he impressive getting the ball over the try line, he was super strong on his feet as well. You see Lonsonero did well to stay on his feet, and Estevez just so strong in his leg drive, like all good 8 men are. This one here set up nicely by O'Donoghue on the right side, and Estevez, look at him go, just carrying 2, 3, 4 bodies with him. And this was really the story of the day, was the Brown scrum. Dominant right till the 80th minute. Estevez there claiming an easy try, and here he is here again at the back. Look at him go in open pasture, just brushing off tackles. Great agility, great speed from the big man, and all around the park, Estevez not just scoring tries, but his defensive work, his offloading ability. He's got his top off. He's ready for a shower, isn't he, Johnny? And he's earned it.
I'd say his some warm soup in his shower would be good for that man right there. Tremendous work for Estevez, man of the match in this Liberty Conference matchup. A glut of tries for him. And we'll take a look at some highlights for the day here. Wheels, take it away.
Yeah, here we go. We already see it early on. That was the first try of the match. Lonsonero, we had the player spotlight on him. What a kicking day out he had as well. Such a clean striker of the ball. Super impressed by this kid's abilities out of France.
Yeah, we just see the power of the scrum from Brown. Just look at that rolling right out there. Easy one for Estevez. Lonsonero eyes it up. Solid on the day. All right. We're going to leave you on these highlights. That's the end of the Liberty Conference, 86-0. Brown goes to 4-0. Colgate, a tough day on the road. Next Level Rugby production. Thank you to Mike Baker, Ryan, the man with the rugby plan, Ginty. For Thomas, Wheels, Grant, I'm John Broker. This has been a lot of fun, and we'll see you at the next rugby game.